और इस सिचुएशन के हिसाब से लेगी।
हमको कैसे पता? हमको कैसे पता?
जल्दी बोल।
तमाम बता।
पीछे दिए।
हमारे साथ
देखिए, टू प्लीज।
कोई बात नहीं बेटा, मदद की होती तो शायद।
काम आएगा।
चलिए।
अगर वो जिंदा रहेगा तो हम मारेंगे।
रक्षक नहीं हो
पूरा नहीं किया, घंटा बचाओगे।
सोल्जर नहीं
कितने लोग?
तो यहाँ मिला है इसके लिए भी तुझे नीचे लटकाया ना, सिर्फ पैर चाहिए। बोल।
टोटल 36 लोग हैं ट्रेन में।
Hey guys, today we're diving headfirst into a whirlwind of adrenaline, gore, and just a tiny bit of romance with the Indian action thriller kill from 2023. This movie isn't just a title. It's a mission statement, a promise delivered with bone-crunching, blood-splattering intensity that'll leave you wondering if you've still got all your teeth. Get ready for a high-speed train ride through pure, unadulterated chaos. Our story kicks off with Amrit and Tulika, two souls clearly head over heels, living that classic forbidden romance dream. Their stolen glances and secret smiles, the brush of hands in a crowd, it's all very cinematic, like a Bollywood meets Bourne mashup. But as we all know, true love rarely gets an easy ride, especially when families with antiquated ideas about arranged marriages are involved. I put a lot of work into these, so if you like what you see, a like and a subscribe is always appreciated. No worries if not. The honeymoon phase, or rather, the secret dating phase, comes to an abrupt halt when Tulika's family, who apparently missed the memo on modern romance, decides she's marrying someone else. Her father, a man who clearly believes in tradition over, you know, his daughter's actual happiness, drops the bombshell like it's a perfectly normal Tuesday. The visuals here are all about that gut-wrenching betrayal, Tulika's tear-filled eyes, the heavy silence, the unspoken understanding that her fate is sealed. It's the kind of moment that makes you want to reach through the screen and offer her a hug, or at least a really strong cup of tea. This forced engagement isn't just a plot device. It's the fuse that lights the entire explosive narrative of the movie, setting our hero on a collision course with destiny, or more accurately, a really bad day on a train. When Amrit gets wind of the forced marriage. It's less a bummer and more a light the fuse, I'm going to war moment. His resolve hardens faster than concrete in a desert. He's not just upset, he's absolutely furious, and let's be honest, who wouldn't be? We see him, a man of action through and through, meticulously planning his next move, which involves a train, a daring rescue, and probably a few bruised egos. He calls his best friend, who, bless his loyal heart, agrees to join this clearly terrible but undeniably heroic endeavor. There's a palpable sense of ticking clock here, a visual countdown as Amrit's determination burns, radiating off the screen like a heat lamp. He's not just chasing a girl, he's chasing destiny, or maybe just a really violent opportunity to make a point. And so, our dynamic duo, Amrit and his trusty sidekick, hop aboard the train. But this isn't just any train. It's practically a mobile stage set for an epic showdown. They discreetly navigate the bustling platforms, their eyes scanning for Tulika amidst the sea of oblivious commuters. You can feel the tension in the air, a silent hum of anticipation. Every passing face is scrutinized, every compartment door peered into. It's like a high-stakes game of Where's Waldo, but instead of Waldo, it's the love of Amrit's life, and instead of a cartoon, it's about to become a very bloody reality. The clatter of the train, the whistle of the guard, all these everyday sounds are amplified, signaling the start of a journey that's going to be anything but ordinary. Frankly, if you're boarding a train in an action movie, just assume it's a bad idea. As if one high-stakes plot wasn't enough. We're now introduced to Fani, a villain who clearly woke up on the wrong side of the bed and decided everyone else should suffer for it. He's the kind of guy who probably uses a machete to open his mail. Fani and his crew, a charming bunch of miscreants, board the train like they own it, radiating pure, unadulterated menace. Their swagger is almost a visual cue for bad things are about to happen. The metallic click of their weapons, the low murmur of their threats, it's a symphony of impending doom. This isn't just a train ride, it's a mobile criminal enterprise about to kick off. Completely oblivious to the fact that they're sharing carriage space with a man on a mission who is about to make their lives, and very likely their afterlives, exceptionally short and unpleasant. Meanwhile, back in her compartment, Tulika, resigned to her fate, glances out the window and bam, there he is, Amrit. The sight of him brings a flicker of hope to her eyes, quickly followed by a wave of anxiety, because she knows what kind of trouble he's likely bringing. It's a beautifully quiet moment, the bustling train outside a stark contrast to the internal turmoil on her face. You can almost hear the soft gasp, the thud of her heart against her ribs. This isn't just a sighting, it's a reaffirmation of their connection, a visual promise that he hasn't given up. The tension is palpable, a fragile hope now mingling with the growing sense of dread, as she realizes their reunion is likely going to involve a lot more than just a tender embrace. This train ride is officially getting complicated. The inevitable happens. One of Tulika's family guards, probably thinking he's hot stuff, spots Amrit. What follows is not a polite conversation. Oh no, it's a rapid, brutal, close quarters fight in the impossibly narrow train corridor, demonstrating Amrit's absolutely lethal skills right out of the gate. The crack of bone, the grunt of effort, the metallic clang of a dropped weapon, it's all incredibly visceral. This isn't a fancy, choreographed dance. It's raw, desperate, and incredibly efficient violence. Amrit moves with a predatory grace, turning the confined space into his personal fighting arena. You realize pretty quickly that this guy isn't just a lovesick puppy. He's a trained killer, and he's not messing around. This initial skirmish serves as a brutal appetizer for the bloodbath that's about to unfold, setting the tone for the entire movie, while Amrit is busy making short work of security. Fani and his crew decide it's prime time for some good old-fashioned train robbery. They burst into a passenger compartment like a bunch of uninvited guests. Except these guys are packing heat and demanding wallets. Not our SVPs, the screams of terror, the frantic scrambling of passengers, the crude demands from the thugs. It all creates a cacophony of fear. This sequence is designed to show just how ruthless and indiscriminate Fani's gang is, establishing them as a major threat to everyone on board, not just Amrit's love life. The metallic glint of knives, the harsh guttural shouts, it's a raw display of power and intimidation. Little do they know, they're about to run into a force of nature who cares less about their stolen watches and more about their vital organs. The stakes skyrocket when Amrit's best friend, the poor soul who signed up for this mess, gets caught in Fani's crosshairs. It's a grim, brutal moment, the sharp crack of a fatal blow resonating through the carriage. His friend's sacrifice, though tragic, ignites a primal fury in Amrit. This isn't just about saving Tulika anymore. It's about righteous vengeance. The visuals focus on Amrit's face, transforming from determined to absolutely feral, his eyes burning with an unholy fire. The silence that follows his friend's demise is deafening, a momentary pause before the storm. From this point on, Amrit isn't holding back. He's gone full John Wick on a train, and Fani and his goons are about to learn that sometimes love when combined with grief and a highly specific skill set, is a truly terrifying force. Consider this the point of no return for our protagonist. Now fully unleashed, Amrit becomes a one-man wrecking crew. He bursts into a compartment, a whirlwind of fists, feet, and whatever improvised weapons he can get his bloodied hands on. The crack of bone, the sickening thud of bodies hitting walls, the panic screams of the goons, it's a symphony of chaos. This is not elegant martial arts. It's raw, desperate, efficient brutality. He uses a broken chair leg like it's a legendary sword, turning everyday objects into instruments of pain. The camera work here is tight, emphasizing the claustrophobia and the sheer force of Amrit's attacks. Each blow lands with a visceral impact, and you can practically feel the reverberations. It's a masterclass in close quarters combat, where every inch gained is earned through pure, unadulterated violence. Let's just say, these guys probably wished they'd chosen a different train, or perhaps a different career entirely. As Amrit carves a path of destruction, he eventually runs into one of Fani's main lieutenants, a burly, tattooed individual who clearly skipped leg day, but definitely hit arm day a few too many times. This isn't just another nameless goon. This guy puts up a serious fight, exchanging heavy blows and making Amrit work for it. The metallic clatter of their struggle echoes through the train, interspersed with grunts of pain. Amrit, battered but unbroken, uses his tactical mind as much as his brute force, exploiting every weakness, turning every tight space into an advantage. The sheer determination in his eyes as he delivers the finishing, bone-jarring blow is chilling. It's a clear message: Amrit is not just a fighter. He's an unstoppable force, a human Terminator on a very fast, very enclosed, and increasingly bloody train. Our guy is getting tired, but he's not stopping. Next stop, the kitchen car. Because apparently, no action movie is complete without a culinary-themed brawl. Amrit finds himself surrounded by even more goons, and he, being the resourceful chap he is, immediately turns every kitchen utensil into a deadly weapon. The metallic clang of frying pans against skulls, the sharp whistle of a thrown knife, the splattering of food mixed with, well, other less appetizing fluids. It's a gastronomic nightmare. This fight is both brutal and darkly comedic, as thugs slip on spilled oil and get bonked with pots. Amrit moves with a savage grace, turning the confined, utensil-laden space into a blender of violence. It's a glorious, messy ballet of destruction, proving that if you give Amrit a whisk, he'll probably find a way to make it lethal. Good luck trying to get a refund on your meal ticket after this. While Amrit is busy redecorating the kitchen cart with bad guys, Tulika is forced to witness the horrifying spectacle from a distance. Her face is a canvas of emotions, shock, fear, and a dawning, terrifying realization of just how far Amrit is willing to go for her. The sounds of the fight, though muffled, are terrifyingly clear. This isn't the romantic hero of her dreams. This is a primal force of nature, a man driven by love and rage to commit unimaginable acts of violence. The moment is quiet but incredibly powerful, showing the emotional toll of Amrit's rampage on the person he's trying to save. It's a sobering reminder that while his actions are heroic in intent, the reality of them is profoundly disturbing. She's seeing a side of him that's both awe-inspiring and utterly terrifying. The mayhem continues into the sleeper car, a labyrinth of bunks and narrow aisles that Amrit navigates like a human pinball of pain. Thugs pop out from behind curtains, trying to ambush him, but Amrit is always one step ahead, or more accurately, one bone-crunching move ahead. The creak of the bunks, the muffled thuds of bodies hitting mattresses, the sharp intake of breath from hidden passengers, it's a masterclass in using the environment as a weapon. He scales bunks, drops down, spins, and strikes with brutal efficiency. It's claustrophobic and intense, with nowhere to run and nowhere to hide, least of all for the poor goons who thought they had the drop on him. It's like a deadly game of whack-a-mole, but instead of a soft mallet, Amrit uses his elbows and knees. Honestly, who needs a gym when you have an entire train full of bad guys to work out on? As Amrit chips away at his forces, Fani, the main antagonist, doesn't just get mad, he gets terrifyingly pragmatic. In a chilling display of leadership or lack thereof, he executes one of his own failing thugs, not with a bang, but with a cold, almost clinical precision. The soft thud of the body hitting the floor, the terrified silence from the other gang members, it speaks volumes about his ruthlessness. This moment isn't just about showing Fani's cruelty. It's about establishing the sheer terror he inspires, even in his own men. It also raises the stakes for Amrit, showing him that his opponent isn't just violent, but utterly without mercy. You realize that Fani's body count is probably as high as Amrit's, just achieved through a different, more managerial style of murder. In the midst of the escalating battle, Amrit spots Tulika and her family caught in the crossfire. His focus, momentarily blurred by the adrenaline of combat, snaps back to his primary mission. He instinctively moves, a blur of motion, to shield her with his own body from a sudden burst of gunfire. The metallic whine of bullets ricocheting off the train, the sharp crack of impact. It's a chaotic symphony. This brief, almost tender moment of protection is a stark contrast to the brutality surrounding them, a quick, visual reminder of why he's doing all this. It's a breath of humanity in a whirlwind of savagery, reassuring the audience that beneath the blood and fury, his core motivation remains intact. He's not just a killing machine, he's a protector, albeit one who's currently covered in someone else's blood. The train's general compartment becomes another battleground, and this one is a true nightmare. Imagine trying to fight a dozen armed thugs while navigating a stampede of terrified passengers. That's Amrit's Tuesday. The screams of the innocent, the frantic pushes and shoves, the sheer claustrophobia of the crowd. It's a sensory overload. Amrit, ever the strategist, uses the chaos to his advantage, becoming a ghost among the terrified faces, striking from unexpected angles. The frantic shuffling of feet, the desperate cries for help, the metallic clang of a knife hitting a railing amidst the crowd. It's a terrifying, almost surreal dance of death. It's a testament to his incredible skill that he can distinguish friend from foe, or rather, target from innocent bystander, in such an overwhelming environment. Honestly, the logistical challenges of this fight scene alone are Oscar-worthy. By now, Amrit is less a person and more a walking, bleeding testament to human endurance. We get a few brutal close-ups of his face and body, showing the grim toll of his relentless combat. Deep cuts, swelling bruises, the ragged edges of his clothes. He looks like he's gone 10 rounds with a blender. The ragged sound of his breathing, the slight tremor in his hands, all highlight the physical pain he's pushing through. But despite the visible injuries, his eyes still burn with an unyielding intensity. It's a powerful visual. The body might be breaking, but the will is absolutely iron. It's like watching a real-life video game character with 1% health left, still somehow delivering critical hits. You gotta respect the grind, even if it's the grind of dismemberment. Fani, realizing that Amrit is less a man and more a human meat grinder, finally gets a clue and decides discretion is the better part of valor, or at least, the better part of not getting impaled. He sets a desperate trap, or at least creates a significant blockage, allowing him to momentarily escape Amrit's relentless pursuit. The metallic crash of debris, the frustrated grunt from Amrit as his path is blocked. It's a brief moment of reprieve for the villain, and a visual representation of Amrit's mounting impatience. This temporary setback doesn't deter Amrit. If anything, it only sharpens his resolve, fueling his desire to finally face Fani. It's like when you're playing a game and the boss runs away. You know the final showdown is coming, and it's going to be epic. Just when you thought Amrit couldn't possibly have any more people to fight, he runs into Tulika's father's remaining guards. These poor souls, still clinging to their misplaced loyalty, haven't quite grasped that Amrit is the lesser of two evils here. They engage him in another brutal, though ultimately futile, struggle. The clash of their weapons, the sharp commands from the guards, the swift, decisive movements of Amrit. It's a tragically ironic fight, as Amrit is technically trying to save them. It highlights the tunnel vision of some characters and the sheer desperation of Amrit's mission. He dispatches them with a weary efficiency, almost regretfully, because honestly, he's got bigger, more murderous fish to fry. This adds another layer of complexity to Amrit's grim task, fighting the good guys, the bad guys, and the guys who are just tragically misinformed. Fani, now backed into a corner like a rabid animal, finally realizes his reign of terror is about to come to a very painful end. He gathers his last remaining, equally desperate thugs, ready for a desperate, maniacal stand. The metallic glint of his chosen weapon, the wild, unhinged look in his eyes, his guttural screams of defiance, it's the classic villain's last hurrah. This is the moment where the hunter and the hunted are about to reverse roles, with Amrit closing in for the kill. The tension is thick enough to cut with one of Fani's absurdly large blades. You can almost hear the ominous music swelling, signaling that the final boss battle is imminent. It's like a medieval duel, just with more train fumes and fewer horses. The relentless pursuit leads Amrit into the heart of the beast, the train's engine room. This isn't just another compartment. It's a labyrinth of hot steam, grinding gears, and heavy machinery, each element a potential weapon or hazard. The hiss of steam, the metallic clatter of the engine, the echoing grunts of exertion. It's a symphony of industrial violence. Amrit navigates this deadly dance floor, using the environment to his advantage, transforming this highly technical space into another extension of his brutal choreography. Thugs get slammed into boilers, bodies get tangled in chains, and the whole scene is infused with a raw, primal energy. It's a visually stunning sequence, proving that even a steam engine can be a character in its own right, albeit a very loud and dangerous one. Who knew train maintenance could be so deadly? After what feels like an entire movie of appetizers, Amrit finally comes face to face with Fani. The scene is stripped bare, just the two of them in a damaged train car, both battered, bleeding, and burning with a primal rage. The metallic creak of the train, the heavy breathing of the two men, the tense silence before the storm, it's all incredibly powerful. This isn't just a fight, it's a clash of ideologies, a battle for survival, and the final reckoning for every innocent life lost. The air crackles with anticipation, a palpable energy radiating from the screen. You can almost feel the weight of their combined fury, building up to an explosion of violence that promises to be the most brutal of them all. This is where good guys and bad guys stop being labels and just become two men trying to kill each other, and then it's on. The final showdown between Amrit and Fani is everything you could hope for from an action movie titled Kill. It's a no-holds-barred, brutal, visceral slugfest where every punch, every kick, every headbutt, every gut-wrenching grapple is felt. The sickening squelch of flesh on flesh, the ragged screams of pain, the relentless pounding, it's an auditory and visual assault. They push each other to their absolute limits, each man driven by a different, twisted motivation. Amrit, fueled by vengeance and love, fights with a cold, almost surgical precision, slowly dismantling Fani. The climax is a flurry of devastating blows, a crescendo of violence that leaves no doubt about the victor. It's a beautifully choreographed ballet of brutality, ending with a final, definitive, and incredibly satisfying impact. Fani, meet your maker. He's got a bone to pick with you. Literally in the grim aftermath of Amrit's brutal campaign, Tulika finally emerges, walking through the wreckage of what was once an ordinary train. The silent, almost reverent awe on her face as she surveys the carnage, then turns her gaze to Amrit, is incredibly powerful. Her expression is a complex tapestry of emotions: fear at the monster he had to become, gratitude for his sacrifice, and perhaps a touch of horror at the sheer brutality she has witnessed. The metallic creaks of the damaged train, the distant wail of a siren, the eerie silence of the remaining passengers, it all adds to the profound weight of the moment. It's not a simple happily ever after, but a raw, unflinching look at the cost of survival and the depth of human love and rage. She now sees the true, terrifying extent of Amrit's devotion. And honestly, who needs a wedding when you've had a massacre? As the dust settles, literally and metaphorically, Amrit and Tulika stand together, battered, bruised, but undeniably alive. The rising sun casts long shadows over the ravaged train, a stark but beautiful backdrop for their survival. The quiet strength in their shared gaze, the unspoken understanding between them, it's a testament to the bond that endured such unthinkable horror. The distant sounds of emergency services, the gentle rumble of the now stalled train, It paints a picture of a world slowly returning to order, though forever changed for them. This isn't a fairy tale ending. It's a testament to resilience, a hard-earned peace forged in the fires of unimaginable violence. They faced the abyss and stared it down, emerging from the depths stronger, but forever marked by what they endured. What a ride, huh? And there you have it, folks, the brutal, relentless, and undeniably unforgettable journey of Kill from 2023. This film wasn't just a movie. It was an experience, a raw exploration of love, loss, and the lengths one man will go to protect what he cherishes. It reminds us that courage often comes at a steep price, and that sometimes the most profound acts of love are etched in blood. The resilience of the human spirit, even amidst unimaginable horror, shines through. It leaves you pondering not just the action, but the powerful emotions that drive us. An intense ride, for sure, but one that certainly leaves a lasting impression.